Alright. Fucking finally. Is my mic on? Cool. Had to fucking film these videos because my mic was dead in the morning after I got out the gym. My fucking brain is like fried right now. It's like 11:30 p.m. and I'm done. But the show must go on. What I want to speak about is weed. And you know, on my day-to-day life, there are reoccurring issues, problems that pop in my head. I feel uncomfortable a lot. And there's a baseline that I normally come back to, and I'm all right. You can call them, I don't know, you can call them demons, you can call them whatever the fuck you want to call them, but I have to fight them every single day. And I noticed that when I smoke weed, the imagery, the just all around my creativity behind it just amplifies. Everything's just super vivid, and I begin to entertain these thoughts more. And that baseline that I normally come back to is so far away, and I have to do a lot more work to get back to it, to feel all right again. And as I kept smoking weed, I noticed this, and I experimented a lot, whether it be smoking before work, smoking at night. I tried a lot of shit, and I learned that it's not really for me. I'll do it here and there to relax. If I want to stretch or something like that, I'll smoke. But it became a thing where I was like, fuck, I don't really want to smoke because all these thoughts become more like just a lot more vivid, and I entertain them more and they stick to me. And I find myself damn near just like paralyzed. It's an exaggeration. I'm not fucking paralyzed, but just kind of standing there, just zoning in on nothing, just in my head. And I do find that middle ground again, that baseline that I'm talking about, where I feel all right again because I gather myself. But it's one of those things where I didn't want to smoke anymore because of that. And I didn't like that. I didn't want to have this negative feeling behind smoking. So, what did I do? I kept smoking. And I looked at it as another domain for me to kind of get a chokehold over. I felt a loss of control. So I was like, you know what? Let's keep smoking and find a way. Let's get really good at just taking control. Because I think that's why a lot of people get very paranoid when they smoke weed. A lot, just very anxious. And I was talking about this with my coworker. He was telling me, he was like, you know what? Like, already by nature, you're a very creative person. And I have, I create a lot of like, scenarios in my head. Get this message out of the fucking way. It's going to distract me the entire time. I'm very creative, and I would consider myself an anxious person. And he was telling me that anxiety is a shadow of creativity, which is fucking nuts. Because it really is. A lot of anxious people create scenarios. They're paranoid. They're imagining all these fucking problems that don't even exist. It's a form of creativity. You're creating all this shit. Your mind's doing all that. It's that creative aspect of your brain, but it's looked upon as like negative. He was like, yeah, I mean, once you're high, when you're high, you get more creative. So that just plays into the anxiety even more. Now you're visualizing all this shit times 10. And me looking at it that way, it's like, oh shit, all this shit that I'm seeing and really stuck in my head, it's just my creative brain. you know. And there you go. It's not as bad as it seems anymore. I'm able to I got closer to that baseline, that feeling where I'm all right now, you know. I'm able to really shoot that shit, shoot that whatever you want to call it. I had this way of describing it before. You know how people have like a bullshit detector kind of thing. I have this thing with my thoughts when there's something that's coming out of nowhere. I'm able to shoot that shit at, like out the sky before it even hits the floor. I used to look at these little thoughts, these thoughts that kind of make me feel insecure or like in my head or, mainly negative shit that I didn't want to think about. I used to view it all as shit coming from the sky that's about to hit me and then me shooting it out as soon as possible. So now that I was high, I found a way to be able to still shoot that shit in the sky. It's real interesting. Because I didn't want to be that type of person that just quit because, oh no, I can't because I just get paranoid. I wouldn't even call it paranoia. It was just like the thoughts that I hated became more vivid and I would sit in them a lot longer, you know. But I don't want to keep repeating the same shit over and over again. If you're an anxious person, just view it as creativity. Your mind's creative, likes to fuck around with you. Don't take it so serious.